Religiousness is a state that one comes to realize his own being. I am part of a greater plan. I am not on myself. I am not alone. I'm not different than from this lady sitting in front of me. I'm not different from this. I'm not different from the other lives, the animal lives, the trees life, the plant life. I'm not different from the moon, the sun, the stars. To know your interconnectedness with the existence. To know your inclusiveness, that you are not separate from the whole universe. This is a state of religiousness. When you get to this state, you don't have to practice anything. Now you are in tune with existence.
We are the biggest, we are the largest, we are the greatest, we are the mightiest African spiritual platform. I'm always Queen Hadasha. You can call me the greatest G. I am the true bloodline. I am the world star number 8. I am the spear of destiny. I am African's #1 sun goddess, Labraska. Queen Hadasha. I welcome you. You can call me Empress Makida. I respond to all these names. I am the mother of all spiritual platform. I welcome you to another episode. It's going to be great. We are going to talk about redefining spirituality and religion. I don't know how we are going to do that. One of our brothers is on set coming to discuss how to redefine them. Whether they are the same, whether there's a different, how are we going to redefine them to fit into African system? I don't know how it's going to happen. But I welcome you with lots of love. You know how much I love you guys. Like, we love and we hate. Let's welcome our guest for today. And then we see who he is and now who he is. Another, a short, but yes, a brofon and echo. Mo manage ne ya hwe nipa kon ye na afa ye hu no na ye bisabisa na no disem na afa one ye afa the topic no. I welcome you. Let's welcome our guests in the house. Papa, we welcome you to Revelations.
Thank you.
Okay, today is your first time on this biggest platform. Please kindly pay obeisance to my followers. I mean, greet them and introduce yourself to us. After that, if there are any loved ones you want to send greetings to, it's equally allowed.
Good evening. My name is PILGU GOLI, which literally means the beginning moon. I'm here to discuss about religion and spirituality, their differences, what makes them differences and what makes them the same. Why are we misinterpreting the beauty of the West, corrupting them, and making it impossible for humanity to understand what really it is? Thank you so much.
Okay. We welcome you to our biggest platform. Abusia, your guest in for and the topic no na mebubu mu achiro no. We are now going to know who he is. Whether he is a spiritualist, a Messiah, Jesus, Muhammad, we are now going to know who he is. Like, we welcome you once again. So who are we going to talk to today?
You are talking to an ordinary man. As far as creation is concerned, I'm nobody.
Okay.
That's part of the creation.
Okay. So the knowledge you are going to share with us, what is your source?
My source is based on my perception and my experience of the life within my own self.
So your source is experience?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you believe in? Do you believe in anything?
Not really.
You don't believe in anything?
Yes.
Do you believe there is God?
I believe there is existence. There is, as far as there is creation, there is a creator.
So you believe there is a God?
Like, in the human God, I don't believe in the human God.
Okay.
Who has the long beards sitting out somewhere. I don't believe in that God.
Okay.
But I believe there is creation, and as far as there is creation, there must be a creator.
There must be a creator.
Yes, but we don't know. We have to inquire.
We have to inquire. So
yes.
have you inquired? Have you acquired about that?
Yes, I don't know God, but I know myself.
You know yourself?
Yes.
So when you did a little bit inquiring about that, what did you get? What did you find?
I found that I'm nobody as far as existence is concerned. I'm just part of some biggest play.
Okay, so you believe you are in a drama?
Yes, humanity is in a drama.
Okay. Are you talking on behalf of everybody, or you are talking on your own behalf?
I'm talking to everybody, or I'm talking to the whole existence.
That they are in a drama?
Yes, they are not.
Whether they believe it or not?
Yes.
So, okay. You are watching The Biggest. I know what you are saying. On this platform, when you come here and you don't have eye problem, you remove your spectacles. So my people demand you remove your spectacles. We are sorry.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. You have beautiful eyes. Why are you covering them?
No, I don't really like too much light sometimes. That is
today
I'm not covering them.
Well, on TV, so
okay.
Manage it for just 1 hour.
Okay.
We love you for understanding us. Okay, so we will go straight into your topic. What is spirituality? Define that word and tell us what spirituality is.
Spirituality is a dimension of creation that cannot be perceived by the sensory perceptions, which is something we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot hear, we cannot taste. That is spirituality.
And what is religion?
Religion was a practice which have been practices in the past of humanity, or in millennia, in the ancient time, which was introducing methods for humanity to use to get to a state of religiousness or spirituality, to know their spiritual self, or to know who they are, or to know their position in the existence. Okay,
so that is your definition of religion?
Yes.
Okay, so before, like you said, the ancient time.
Yes.
What religion were they practicing? Because when you come to religion, you will have a lot of dimensions.
Yes, yes.
So when you say ancient time, that was what they were practicing.
Yes.
And what kind of religion were they practicing?
Religion is a complete word by itself. Religion is a word. And we have organized religions, which are being organized through the essence of this word, religion. Religion has been one of the corrupted words in the human history, which I don't really like to talk about, but it is a necessity. Organized religion have spoiled the beauty of the word, that it has become like a different thing with spirituality, but they are not different. Based on their essence, they are all the same. They are not different. Religious practice is not something that makes you spiritually, but when understood very well, it can take you to a higher possibility of your own being. It can take you into the your spiritual nature, your inner dimension, or the world beyond the sensory perceptions or the mind.
So if I should understand you, it means religion is the beginning of the journey of spirituality. Is that
yes.
correct? Okay, so what were the ancient practices? So when you say religion, you have divided yes. them. I want to know the ones our ancestors were practicing. The one that you feel it's not gone bad, like you said. Make us understand.
Like, what I mean is, being a religious person is one thing, but practicing religion is quite another thing. They are not different. They are not the same thing.
So explain.
Yes. Being religious means you have transformed yourself into the state of religiousness. That is, you have transformed your physical dimension of yourself into the spiritual nature of your spirituality. Let's say you have transformed the physics. We have physical world. This is what we have been experiencing based through our sensory perceptions. But we have inner dimension. They cannot be outer without inner. In the reality, in existence, as far as there is outer, there is inner. If there is cup, or this room has a wall, yes, that is the outer. If I watch outside, I can watch the beauty of it, and here is the inner of the house. So religion, our sense perception give we the chance to know only the external, which is what we can see, what we can touch, what we can taste, but it does not give you the experience to know who really we are. I can describe myself in hundreds or thousands different times, but that is not really what defines me. Right now, me and you are on set. We are just playing a role. That does not define me that I'm a speaker. I'm a speaker. It is just a role I'm playing. So who really you are? This is an inquiry to use the outer dimension to be able to get to the inner dimension of your being. And this is the state of religiousness, the state of spirituality, the state of Christ, the state of Buddhahood, the state of the known, the unknown, the uncertainty, almost a state of the divine. When I said Christ, I'm not talking about Jesus Christ. Jesus is a person, but Christ is not a person. When I use the word Buddha, I did not mean Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha who found the Buddhist religion. I'm just talking of the state. Christ means the anointed one. Buddha means the enlightened one. Those two words are not different. No matter how they are defined different, they are all the same. They are estates. Jesus was a person, but he attained the state of Christhood. That is why the Christ was added to his name. But there have been crises in the future, in the past of humanity before Jesus Christ, and after Jesus Christ, many crises have existed. Before Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha, there were Buddhas before him, and after him, so many Buddhas have come. So when I use these two words, I'm not talking about the founders of those religious practices. I'm talking about the states.
So what we want to know is the religion.
Yes.
Then, the difference. Okay, so now what has gone bad? When we mention religion, according to you, it's gone something else.
Yes, it's something else. Right now, where you mention religion, I have to belong to something. But religiousness is a state that one comes to realize his own being, that I am part of a greater plan. I am not on myself. I am not alone. I'm not different than this from this lady sitting in front of me. I'm not different from this. I'm not different from the other lives, the animal lives, the trees life, the plant life. I'm not different from the moon, the sun, the stars. To know your interconnectedness with the existence. To know your inclusiveness, that you are not separate from the whole universe. This is a state of religiousness. When you get to this state, you don't have to practice anything. Now you are in tune with existence. You have no plan on your own. you are going with existence itself. You don't have nothing to be worried about whether things go well or not, whether death comes or death does not come. This is the uncertainties of life that makes man implement a ways to create religion. Religion is created out of human fears. He created this because he needs an outside agencies that will make him feel to not be alone. But yes, that is not a fulfillment. No matter how many outside agencies we feel, wives, children, friends, gods, yes, the deep down, the void is there. You will still feel the emptiness because you are an individual. You are not a person. A personality is a different, being an individual is a different thing. To become an individual, that is a great courage for a man to be. To become individually means you have tried everything in the world and you have seen the futility of it, and now you will find the truth by your own self. Through your own self, whatever is in the inner dimension of yourself, you will find it yourself without relying on any outside agencies, the messengers of God, the holy books, or whatever it is. You have tried all these things and you have failed. And you have tried to become an individual because a personality is just a mask. Personality comes from the word persona, which means a mask. So you have put a mask to perform a certain duties to fit into a particular society. We have a way of life in Ghana here, which are not the same in the other countries. When you go to America, they have certain lifestyles they have accepted. You have to fit to that mask. You have to put the American mask because you can be accepted in America. You have to put Ghana mask. These are the personalities that we have acquired. But in order to become religious means you have come to a stage that you have realized that this is just a personality, a mask that I'm wearing. The mask has to be dropped. That means you have taken a courageous route to find truth by your own self without relying on any agencies. It is very easy to belong to religions. One day I can be converted to all the religions in the world. It is possible. In the morning I can convert to Islam, 1 hour time to Christian, another time Hinduism, Taoism, Judaism, all the religions in the world, more than 4,000. If there is enough time for a person, you can become all the religion. You can join all the religions by one day. But to become a Christ is another thing. To become a Christian is a simple activity one can perform within just a blink of an eye. But to become a Christ is another thing.
Tell us how to become. If you want to become this, what does it entail? And if you want to become this, what does it entail? How does it work?
Mostly I use the word to become. To become religious is one thing. To be religious is one thing. What organized religions have been doing in the world for the past 2,000 years, they have not earned it. They have not become. They are trying to suppress energies in order to follow some certain principles, which naturally it is not possible. They are energies that govern the life within us. And in order to be virtuous, one needs to understand how all the energies is working, the energy of hate, emotions, sex, and all other parts of the energies that have gathered our life. One needs to understand them bit by bit. Understand, I did not mean know. Like, you understand them. They are naturally instinctual parts of your being. When you understand them, you don't have to fight with them. And that is the end of relentless seeking without knowing, or relentless looking for outside agencies and outside helps. So becoming a religious takes time, but it is possible. It looks like almost impossible, but of course it is possible.
What is making it look impossible?
The reason why it looks impossible is religion is one way of searching for truth, but there are different ways that humanity have been implemented towards truth. Science is another way of approaching truth, but the way of science is a partial approach. Science is dealing with facts, figures, observations, but the way of the religious man is very different from the scientific approach. Science is asking the question how. How the water is there, science can give you answer. How the planet come to exist, how the stars are there, how the moon is there. Science is asking the questions how, because they are intellectuals. Their knowledge comes from their observation, which is in the mind. That is knowledge. But the way of the spirituality is the way of defining the impossible. The way of the religious man is the way of speaking the unspeakable, saying what looks almost impossible. That is why all the religious men who have existed, walk on this soil, have been misinterpreted in 1,000 different ways. Jesus was a religious man. Buddha was a religious man. Krishna was a religious man. Prophet Muhammad was a religious man. Kabir, Manshur al-Hilaj. There are many of them who were so religiously, so spiritually, who have walked on this soil. I can deny Christianity, that Christianity is not good, but I cannot deny Jesus. That is almost insane to deny that Jesus is false, because he was representing what he was saying. He was not looking into a book. He was talking what he is. And humanity can see that he is what he is saying. I can deny Christianity. I can deny the words of Jesus, but not what Jesus is.
The Christ or the Jesus?
The Jesus, the person.
The personality.
Yes. Mm-hmm. His personality, he was not, when a person becomes a Christ or a Buddha, you are not more a person. Physically, you appeared as a person, but you are not a person. You are a symbol. You are a presence. You are a symbol in such a way, say, you represent like a flower for humanity, that if this man can become like this, then it is possible for the whole humanity. But humanity has been misinterpreted the man. As far as the man is like that, no one can become like that, because he is the anointed one. He is the chosen one. Nobody can be chosen again. And this is the wrong mentality that has to be changed. If we need the well-being or the future of humanity, we have to know there are states that individual people can't attain if an effort is made, but not things to rotten ideas that have been misinterpreted for thousands of years.
That instead of following, we
yes,
should worship.
Instead of following, we should understand. Worship is a different thing, but because of how it has been done in the past of humanity, all those things lose their beauty. understanding comes first, or realization comes first. The teachings of a prophet or the teaching of a master is not for everybody. What Jesus was saying was not just for everybody, even though it was for everybody at the same time, not for everybody. That is why all he's saying, it has been noted that, and Jesus said to his disciples, Buddha said to his disciples, Prophet Muhammad said to his disciples, because a disciple is a person who has realized the futility of his own knowledge, his own mind, that whatever the master have said, it will look contradicted, but I will not interfere. I will not judge it. So a disciple is a beginning of becoming a devotee. When a person is a disciple, you are not more yet a devotee. A devotee hears from the heart, but the disciple hears from the mind. Whatever has been said, he has to put it inside the distorted mind, the fragmented, then cut it all to his past experience, his past knowledge. The Jews rejected Jesus not because Jesus was not represented what he was saying, but because they already have some knowledge about the past, who to come and who not to come, what to be followed and what not to be followed. That be why the Jews could not listen to Jesus. But a disciple will listen to Jesus. Whatever he has to say, he will listen to it without comparing it to his past experience and his past knowledge. So the disciples understands the master from the mind. By and by, he will come to a certain point that the mind will start coming down by itself. He will move into a state of the devotee, the heart, the state of compassion, love, the state of unity, the state of peace. And this state, once listened to the master with an open arm, there's no judgment, because mind is responsible for judgment. Heart cannot judge. Heart did everything almost crazily. It does, when the heart wants to do something, it does it without any judgment. But the mind comes up, then separates man from the reality. So the whole approach of religion is to move man from his current state above the mind. It's gradually processed to get him outer, or to raise his consciousness above the mind. Because with the mind, there is no possibility of liberation. There is no possibility of happiness. There is no possibility of living without worry. There will be anxiety. There will be depressions. There will be worries. It cannot be end, because the mind is responsible for all these things. He is the devil, the Satan, the God. He represents a big freedom, because we have given him this freedom. It is not his rightful position, but we have given him the power. But deep down, the mind knows it is not the master. The heart is the master. But during ancient time, many people were learn to use different energies for certain resources, which they don't really know the effects to the society or to their own beings. That is why religious went the pure, the virgin souls like Jesus Christ, Moses, Zarathustra, Gautama the Buddha, Krishna, Kabir, Al-Hilaj, Lao Tzu. That is why all these virgin souls have seen the necessity to tell humanity that it is possible. They have been misinterpreting the energies, which is not helping them nor helping the other helping humanity. We have to cut that off so that we can build a new humanity. But it has been misheard, misinterpreted, misunderstood. And now there is a need for a new man, a new humanity.
You are watching The Biggest and the Largest. I asked you a question. When we were starting the show, I'm going to ask you that question again before we continue. Who are you?
I've already said, I am an ordinary man. I was given a name by my parents, but the name cannot define me. It is too small to define who am I.
So you are here sitting, you are sitting right before me.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm an ordinary man.
Like you. You are an ordinary man.
Yes.
And the name your father, the ordinary man, gave you cannot define you.
Yes. My name cannot define
exactly.
It's a title.
It's a title.
Yes.
Have you found yourself?
Yes.
So who are you now?
What am I cannot be said.
Why?
So I am nothing.
Why can't it be said? Is it abominable to say, or when people hear something will happen?
There is no word to describe self. Gautama the Buddha used to call the self blowing up a bubble, just a flame burning up the candle. And when you burn a candle, the flame is gone, nothing will be there. When the ego is being dropped, the distorted mind has been dropped, there will be no self. That is why I say Jesus was not a person. That is why Jesus said, I and my Father are one. That is why Gautama the Buddha, his disciples used to call him a Bhagwan. Bhagwan means a god. That is why Krishna said, I am the way. That is why Manshu Ahila say, Ana al-Haq, I am the truth. That is why Kabit say, I am what you are looking for. Prophet Muhammad may not say it in the collections of scholars, but in the Quran it has been said that God himself said, Muhammad is not the son of your men. He is a messenger of God and the seals of the prophets. It has been said in the Quran. If someone is not the son of your men, who is? Who is the person? It has been written there that God himself have said that Muhammad is not the man of we, who he is. Muslims has been insulting or disliking Christianity because of the idea that Jesus have claimed to be God. But even in the Quran, God himself said Muhammad is not the son of our men. If he is not the son of a man, who is the father? Who is the mother? The reason why all these words have been repeated in the history of humanity is because a person who have realized his own being has no past, has no future. And if you don't have a past or a future, you cannot be defined. You are the infinite, almost like the ultimate.
I ask you this question because you said Jesus was not the person he was at the moment he find himself. Am I correct?
Yes, I mean Jesus Christ was a person.
He was a person.
He attained into a Christhood.
Then he became a symbol.
Yes, he became a symbol, yes.
He became a symbol. And when you are talking, you also said that the religious people we know now are making us feel like it's only Jesus and the rest that can attain.
Yes, all the religions believe that they are the way.
That we cannot attain that position. You said that.
Yes.
That is why I'm asking you this question. Have you attained anything that you will be like, if they feel nobody can attain that position where they, like your effort is leading you there, even if you are not there? Can you say that?
My whole teaching is acceptance. Acceptance oneself, acceptance of the existence, the universe, how it is. We have not asked for this moment. It has been given. We have not asked to be born. We were born. We will not even ask to live on this earth. This is the plan of the existence. It is the plan of the Creator. We have no plan on ourselves. The reason why we are suffering is because we cannot accept ourselves. We cannot accept reality as it is. So we are finding ways to dodge the reality, even though everything which is as truth as it is, we are dodging it. We want to find humanity want to find every route that they can use to escape reality. But that will not help.
How are we dodging it? And
we are dodging it in such a way. The reality of life is, it looks like a joke. If you don't have what you were craving for, then you look empty until you have attained what you thought will make the difference. And yet, when you have got to where you think will make the difference, there you feel more empty. It means it seems like you are chasing the impossible. You come to a point that life looks like almost useless. Life has no meaning. To me, there's no meaning in life. And if you want meaning in life, you and suffering are two impossible things. Suffering, you will suffer. Humanity are looking to dodge reality by creating purposes, reasons to pass, reason to feel important. We want to be important in this vast universe because of our individual experiences. I am this. This is my children. This is my wife. This is my house. This is my cars. These are the reasons to escape the emptiness of life. And until one is ready to embrace the emptiness of life or the unknown, one cannot grow. You cannot become individual. You will live comfortably, you will die comfortably, but you will know nothing about life. And this is a horrible way a human being can live on the planet. To live on this beautiful planet, so much mysteries, so much to be experienced, and yet nothing you have knew. All you knew is just a pity things. Religion is the first thing, is the first question for man to ask for. And when you get to know who you are, your place in the existence, then life becomes a celebration. Life becomes a joy, a dance, a poetry. But if one makes the point of realizing the essence of his divinity, life looks like almost a mirage. No matter how you trace it, finally, you miss it. You thought the cars will make the difference. The cars, you sit inside the cars and yet still feel miserable. Right now, you have to have a wife because you are feeling lonely. The wife and the children will be with you at home, yet the inner void, what you have been dodging, will still remain there. Even your wife cannot know what you are going through. Your husband cannot know what you are going through. Why can't we accept this inability? Inability, the uncertainty, the unknown. And organized religion has been the contribution of this misery to humanity. They have created anxiety in humanity, depressions, created all kinds of mental disorders. Today, when you look at the mental history of humanity, it's almost like impossible. One feels to weep. This is not the time humanity has to ask the question, what is the purpose of my life? Now we have all we needed. We have enough food. Now we have even choices of food. This is something to be celebrated. 2,000 years ago, man was relying on little food, and in order to survive a day, one needs to almost work like the animal. Today we have it on our hands, but yet today we have been taught different, we have been understood different, and it gets you into a position of no escape.
Right now, who is disputing this fact? You can't do, everybody has accepted. Everybody has accepted that he was born.
Yes.
He is here. So what is the point?
What is the point?
Yes.
Yes. That is why I was saying religion has almost, metaphorically, religion looks so beautiful. It looks like almost like the golden spoon. One cannot escape from it. Why do we look for outside stimuli? Why do we look for religions? Why do we look to belong to some certain society, some group, some family, some culture? All these things is because of security. From the ancient to the modern, man has been searching for security, where to belong. He is feeling so lonely that if he is able to stand tall on his own, then something is missing. He has to find somewhere to belong. That is why religion looks so almost inevitable for man to live without. You have to belong to some religion. When I talk to my friend about my passion to help raise the human consciousness, my friend told me it is a good idea, but for people to listen to my idea, I have to find some religion, maybe at least just a false one, a Christian or a Muslim, just to use this group to represent my knowledge. But Jesus Christ was not a Christian. Prophet Muhammad was not a Muslim. Buddha was not a Buddhist. Krishna was not a Hinduist. Moses was not a Judaist. Guru Nanak was not a Sikh. He has shared his experience, his teachings. Then a certain group thinks it is beautiful. They have to organize a society for it. But the society stands a gateway. It stands like almost a building block to cut them to get the beauty of the teachings of the master. Religion stands almost, looks like something which makes man and God apart. If I say I'm a Muslim, deep down I have to hate the Christians, the Buddhists, the Hindus. But religion is a liberation tool. It's a tool to help humanity grow, to become compassionate, loving, to become unity with the whole existence, to become one with the divine. This is the tool. But the tool has been understood that what this master have said is the only truth that humanity can be used to attain truth. Christians claim Jesus is the only, I love the word, the only begotten Son of God. Without following the path of Jesus, one cannot attain to reality. Islam believes, even almost insane, that Prophet Muhammad was existed before the creation of man. If Jesus is the Son who came 2,000 years ago, then Prophet Muhammad is even better. He was there even before the creation of man. Christianity has claiming, putting facts, figures to claim that they are the righteous path. Hindus cannot believe Jesus Christ attained enlightenment because they believe their way is the only way. Why making God like a poor person that he cannot transform so many lives? He have only one car, the only way. All the religions in the world claim they are the only way. If Islam is the only way, then Jesus is not the way. If Islam is the way, then Zarathustra is not the way. Moses is not the way. Lao Tzu is not the way. Buddha is not the way. At least, if you can reject Christianity, rejecting Jesus Christ looks almost insanity. It is not looks like, it is an insanity. You can against Muslims because they have some practice to do. But how can you against Prophet Muhammad? They were the virgin souls who have walked on these planets. It is almost impossible for humanity to forget these figures because they were not just people. They were an individuals. And when one becomes in tune with the existence, the trees, the sky, the plants, the animals, they are all aware of you. You cannot be forgotten. Jesus Christ cannot be forgotten in the history of humanity until the world has ended. Prophet Muhammad cannot be forgotten. Buddha cannot be forgotten. Krishna cannot be forgotten. Lao Tzu cannot be forgotten. Socrates cannot be forgotten. Al-Hilaj cannot be forgotten. There are so many of enlightened beings who have walked on this soil. And they cannot be forgotten because of our selfish reasons. But it is almost impossible to remember the richest man in the world in the time of Christ. Because that is vanity. It doesn't matter how much you have earned in the world. That is for your own selfish reason. It is nice. It is good for the worldly things. But to become a Christ is almost a dimension which is impossible to be forgotten. We can forget Christianity, we can forget Islam, Judaism. These are just organizations. But we cannot forget these enlightened beings.
We cannot forget these enlightened beings because they've done well.
Because they are symbols.
Because they are symbols.
They were not, after their realizations, they were not more people like us. They become almost like the divine.
So they became symbolic.
Yes, they became symbolic that if it is possible for this man, then yes, there is still hope for humanity. We too can attain to this highest consciousness.
So are we trying, looking at us as Ghanaians or Africans,
Superstition and religion has been the barrier for the growth of the African man. Since the beginning of humanity, to my understanding, the African man has not civilized even a bit. He is still in the infantry stage. The reason why he is still in the infantry stage is because he has not yet come to the understanding that change is a way to growth. Change is the path to truth. Change is the path to knowing oneself. Our old traditions were almost like horrible as compared to the Jews' interpretations. We were using so many energies to affect each other. Even today in the villages, it is. But the reality is because of superstition. If one understands that one should not be entangled with what has been done to you, because that does not matter. What matters is how you accepted them, how you interpreted them, how you cope with them, how you work with them. Africans have yet to come to the realization that whatever happened in the universe have been happening millions of years ago. What has happened to you today, thousands of individuals in the history of humanity has experienced it. You are not the first person. How come your own cannot be overcome? Because you have given yourself no chance to growth, no chance to accept the unknown, to know what it is. We have been with the known for so long. Why can't we give the unknown a chance to know what is in the unknown? Superstition is the most dangerous instrument in the African society, that nothing can happen by its own nature, or nothing can happen by the force of existence, by the will of the universe. Everything happens by the doing of another man. And religion has come to liberate we from this ignorance. But the intellectual religions goes on promoting our old ideas. Because for my understanding, I don't think the religious priests care about humanity. He don't care about humanity. He don't care about God. He only cares for business. He's looking for customers, and we are a good customers.
And what is she selling?
He's selling heaven. He's selling God to you. He have tried all possible ways to make you look like a sinner. Just remember, for 2,000 years ago, religion have been going on condemning man that he is a sinner. Now, scientists have said this universe have existed for million years. That this our planet have existed for 2.5 million years. I don't know where they have gotten those facts, but I have accepted to science. They have proofs, they have facts. And if they have said our planet have existed for 2.5 million years, and the religious priest goes on telling humanity that 2.5 million years ago, a couples have committed a crime that we have to suffer for. For 2,000 years, they have been condemning humanity that they are sinners. What makes them sinners? No child have been born into the world as a sinner. Every child looks almost like the lotus flower. So bright. What makes them a sinner? A sinners. It is the same society which goes on producing sinners and sins. If they do not condemn you as a sinner, they cannot become a saint, because these are two polarities. 2,000 years The religious priests have goes on condemning humanity that they are sinners. Even 1 year is enough to go on calling a person a criminal. 1 year is enough. It will come a time that he will accept that I'm a criminal just to be free. Humanity have accepted to this nonsense because it has been repeated in their minds for so long that they have no any other choice, that they have to accept to that. And it is my whole concern is if these couples have committed that crime, no problem. We are paying for the price, and God willing, the Christian priests have said 2,000 years ago, God have sent the begotten Son, not just sent him. He has come, brought we liberation. Are we liberated?
Are we liberated? That's another big question. As Africans, are we liberated?
I thought we have failed completely, or Jesus may have been a failure. Jesus cannot be a failure, but we are failures. To fail to understand the worth of the Christ, the Buddha, the enlightened one, we have failed as human society. Africans, talking about Africans, then religion looks like a punishment. I have a story. A 2-year child was sitting, playing, and unfortunately his own finger cut him. And blood was pumping up. Just by the side, a madman was passing. Just to feel compassionate to this child, he has put his hand into his pockets and brought up a new blade and give the new blade to the child, the 2-year child, without being aware the consequences of that. That this child is not aware that even a blade can cut a finger. But the man is just a madman. How can he be aware that the child is not? He gives the child the blade to the child. The child goes on cutting his own self, and you too won't be surprised how many damages can be done to give a new blade to a 2-year child. Only a madman can do that. African was crying for food. He was needed to be fed, not religion. He was given religion the time he was supposed to be given food. He was in the infantry. How can you teach a 2-year child a religion? African has misinterpreted religion in so many different ways on his own desires. He thinks God is to fill the stomach. That is not true. Religion is a fulfillment tool. Religion comes to give man contentment. Even in the Islamic scriptures, they have said that the prophet have said if one is hungry and there is time for prayers, one has to eat first before going to the prayers, even if one has to miss the main prayers with people. The basic needs of man has to be met before you can ask the question of what is the meaning of my life.
But we are not even applying that.
Yes. Religion has misled us, not because we have understand and we refused. The people who brought with the religion has not understand the thing. They have not really done that much because a man who, the ignorant man can be forgotten. He can be forgiven. What is the problem of that? They have given we a dangerous instrument without even knowing what it is. What is the damages it can cause to the society. The African religion is all about asking for tomorrow food, the nice clothes, the house, the protections, because the religious priest told him there is a devil in the house who is working so hard to destroy his life. God is not for protection, to fill your stomach. one has to be done with his basic needs before asking for the releasing of my life. Today, the most affluent countries in the world, the United States, from 2019 pandemic till now, mental health has become a leading influence in the human society.
I know.
It has become, looking at the most affluent nation, the United States, the Iran, then the Portugal, the Australia, which are the leading countries of mental health in the world today. So many people are suffering in the African continent by mental health. But because of African stigmatic nature, he thought this is the doing of the devil. You are the devil and you are the God.
No. You are the devil and you are the God.
Yes.
Our time is finished.
Man has to take responsibility for his life. And if African want some change, some transformations to happen in our society, we have to accept responsibility. Every individual in the existence have to take responsibility for your life. The world may be destroyed by the greed of man, but at least before the world is destroyed, you must save yourself.
Okay, so that is one of our brothers talking about consciousness. The wind is blowing, you know, and these young ones are coming. Media lady, they are coming with full frequency. So those doing Ajana 1, Ajana 2, wait for it. Sin is sweet. Okay, in 1 minute, your last word and your last words, and then add all your social media handles to wait for people who want to ask you questions.
My last word for humanity is we have to accept ourselves. Accept yourself the way you are. If there is something wrong with you, you don't have to be the one to identify it. You have a creator. You are part of a great happening. This is something to be celebrated, to be part of this graceful universe. One has to celebrate one life. In the moment of conception, almost 5 million semens, 5 million lives were destroyed to give you a chance to be here today. You have to accept yourself. Don't give agencies to any other human being to tell you that you are not okay. I'm here to tell you that you are enough just the way you are. Accept yourself. If you accept yourself, you have accepted the whole existence. If you accept yourself, you have accepted God. If there is anything which should have been done different, God will have done it differently without your accent. I don't have any social media handles yet. Me and my team are working so hard to create a community that will help individually to come and have a tools that they can use to transform their own lives, to get out from their mental chattering, their thought process. I want to help the mental disorders in the society today to accept themselves. They are not suffering any disorder. They are suffering their rejections of their own selves.
Simple. Yo, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. This is what we are preaching to you. We are not saying you roam around and all look for things outside of yourself. Everything you need is within you. The universe is so much alive in you. This is what we are preaching. Thank you, brother, for coming. I do appreciate you. Vote him live. Number, I have 3 questions to ask, so I will take advantage and ask him my question. So vote him live to come. Write it in the comment section. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you so much. Thank you guys for watching the greatest and the largest. I love you bunch. Shalom. Peace.